Okay, I'll call to order the meeting of Monday, January 27th to order. I ask all not signed in, please do so. Please turn off all cell phones and other electronic devices. Please conduct any private conversation in the hallway or outside. Emergency exits can be found to your right and to your left. Please note this meeting is also live streamed via YouTube with text commenting available. And if you'd now please rise and join us in a salute to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, and we'll start with public hearing. Ask the clerk to please read the public hearing notice.
Please take notice that a local law has been introduced by the Victortown Board designated as a local law to override the New York tax levy limit for 2026, which would permit the town of Victor to increase the town's tax levy beyond the amount otherwise permitted by the New York tax levy limit legislation. Please take further notice that a public hearing has been scheduled for January 27th at 7 p.m. at the Victor Town Hall, at which all interested parties will be given the opportunity to be heard. This meeting is also live streamed via YouTube with text commenting available. The notice of public hearing ran in the Canandaigua Messenger on January 10th, was posted at the Town and Village Halls and on the Town of Victor website.
Thank you, Kim. And at this time, we'll call upon the Director of Finance for the Town of Victor, Rich O'Donnell, for an overview of what this actually means.
Good evening, everybody. I am Rich O'Donnell. I am the Director of Finance here at the Town of Victor. So I just want to touch a little bit on why we're putting this forward, the resolution forward. This is really a formality. We've done this as a town board. You've done it for at least 6 years that I know of, and I think it may even go farther back than that. So it's really there to be adjusted in case. Say when we do our budget in August, some catastrophe hits or something happens where we have to increase the budget more than the 2%, this resolution allows us to do that without doing the public hearing in August and September where we could possibly run out of time. Over the last 6 years, I went back and tracked where we're at. We've never gone over the 2% tax cap in those 6 years. And interesting enough, back in 2019, our tax rate was $1.71 per thousand. Well, for 2025, our tax rate is $1.71 per thousand. So that kind of puts a little perspective on how we're able to manage the increases in expenses over the years. So really how the big thing is going over the tax rate and the expenses, how we're able to fund those increases expenses is really in increasing our program revenue, such as our Parks and Recs revenue, some of the revenue we get from building and planning fees. But the main thing is we're able to fund it through the big increases we see in our sales tax that the town gets. So that allows us not to have to increase the tax levy and put that extra expense on to our residents. Part of the budget process too, I just want to notice, is we do a really good job here at the town of watching all the expenses that we incur. Each department is encouraged to look at state contracts, look at other co-oping buying agreements to really get the best prices for the expenses that we have. So we're making sure we get the best value of all the dollars we spend. And the other thing I wanted to bring up too is if residents see this and have a concern, this doesn't mean we're going to increase it over the 2%. And when we do our budgets are a 2 or 3 month process, starting in August, as we all know, and ends in October. We have open to the public workshops where residents can come and see where that money is being allocated, those expenses are being allocated, and they can really give us their input as to where we're going, and then you as the board members vote on the budget to be there. So it's really an open process. We're very transparent of where we spend our money, And I don't think this should be an issue for residents to be anything to be worried about.
Thank you.
Okay.
At this time, I'll ask if there's any members of the public care to speak for or against this potential town board action. And I ask if there's any members of the public care to speak for or against. Hearing none, entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Moving to town board, moving to meeting announcements. And I'd like to identify that we have 4 employees that will be celebrating birthdays in the month of February. Alicia Skibinski on the 9th. I have one of those historic birthdays myself on the 15th. Lisa Simmons on the 18th, and Amber Bolton on the 29th. So, happy birthday to all of those individuals. Approval of meeting minutes. This would be the January 6th. It was both the organizational and regular town board meeting for your consideration.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Manifest number 2. I'll ask the clerk to please introduce that.
Manifest number 2 in the amount of $923,076.34 has been reviewed by the Victortown Board with the following accounts charged: General Townwide, General Outside Village, Parkland Trust Fund, Highway Townwide, Consolidated Sewer Fund, Trust and Agency, and the lighting districts of Fishers, Brookwood Meadows, High Point, Cobblestone, Quail Ridge, Rolling Meadows, Legacy at the Fairways, and Stoneleigh.
Thank you very much, Kim. Up on the screen, certainly a significant amount of money, so we'll go over some items that are driving that, and we'll start with American Rock Salt. Number 2, payment to Barclay Damon, attorney fees for the month of December. Payment for Bluestone Creek Development, the February Parks and Rec rent, our annual Boughton Park support, our share. Payment to Excelis for February retiree health care. Hometown Energy, unleaded fuel purchased. Payment to Integrated Systems, park security cameras. This is ARPA funding. Payment to Isaac Heating, highway heater replacement and town hall services. Payment to MVP, February healthcare. Annual contribution to Mercy Flight. Mirabito Energy for fuel purchased in the month of December, diesel. Architects, this is the benches for the dog park and Veterans Gardens. And within this payment, actually, there was a donation in memory of Bill Stelling, and that was for $4,560. So, payment to Penn Power for highway truck repairs, transmission, I think, precision trenching, pipe cleaning for road projects, payment to Ontario County for the Water Coalition, and dues and the fourth quarter courts and road support as well. Payment to RG&E, townwide gas and electric. Victor Farmington Ambulance for the agreement we have with them for the annual emergency services they provide to the town. And Victor Sewer District, these are delinquent taxes that were re-levied. The total of the above-mentioned expenditures is $835,446.97. Total town expenditures minus the previous mentioned expenditures equals $87,629.37. Board members, do you have any questions on this evening's manifest?
Oh, yeah, Keith, I had a question for you because I saw that we got new T-shirts and they were super cheap. And were they embroidered or screen printed for planning? Are they just T-shirts or are those the shirts you threw? But they were like 16? Do you remember? Of course I thought I highlighted it. I was just amazed by how cheap they were and I was like, I should, if I'm looking for shirts embroidered myself.
We buy them from one vendor and then we have them
embroidered by another.
Okay, so that's just the
you may have just been
embroidery
looking at the embroidery.
charge. Okay, all
Probably.
right, that makes more sense. That was, and then, question about, this one, I think, Rich, probably for you. The Brightly software, what do we use that for?
That's a new town-based software that we haven't implemented yet. We purchased it about 6 to 8 months ago, but that's going to hit pretty much every department within the town.
Okay,
It's just a whole enterprise-based software.
okay, perfect, thank you. Those are my only questions.
Any other questions?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Next is public comments and concerns. Members of the public care to address the town board? One, two. Moving next to reports of town officials, and we'll ask for Ms. Kathy Rayburn and Gina.
Good evening. Gina and I I'm Kathy Rayburn. I'm the Director of Economic Development for the town. This is Gina Solomon. She's my assistant, and we're going to present to you tonight, give you an overview of 2024, highlight some of the initiatives, and then talk about some things that we want to do or are doing in 2025. Before I jump into this presentation, as we're going through it, I just want you to know that this is not my work. I gave Gina pretty much a blank slate with words on it and said, can you make this, pretty this up and make it exciting? And this is her work, so I'm very happy about that. Do I just hit the, okay. So let's get into it. So for today, main topics we're going to cover are business support, events and business promotions, marketing Victor, challenges that we've incurred in 2024, and new 2025 initiatives. So for business support, the things listed here, we've been doing most of these for quite some time, at least my time here. One of the things that I really help businesses with new startups is location searches. And I have a pretty good database of what's available, work with local realtors about what's coming up. Guidance and connections are huge. What does that mean? That means a lot of times it might not be something that we can help them with, but I can pretty much always tell them where to go if they're in search of information and needs. We started doing ribbon cuttings when the chamber left. We're fortunate to have the chamber back, Ontario County Chamber, back working with us, and we are definitely referring those kinds of things to that agency. We work on new business announcements, and we supply financial assistance. So as far as financial support, some of you know about some of the programs, but some that I wanted to highlight. The Facade Improvement Program. That's through the LDC and the URA, Urban Renewal Agency in the village. And we've been running that program before I even started at the town and at the LDC. But for 2024, we had $32,000 to allocate. We had a number of projects come through, 8 were approved for funding. And we provided $21,137 in funding for those projects. Those are facade, so it's exterior improvements, paint, windows, things like that. And then we have the business support continued with financial. The LDC offers a loan program, and we've been doing loans in the range of $5,000 to $35,000. We have 3 that are active currently. And the way that process works, they have a basic application to fill out, and we have a loan committee that consists of people from the LDC board that review that, and kind of, some back and forth as far as getting the questions answered and, getting the loan issued. But we have 3 currently, and I have 2 that are looking to apply right now. We're also working with the county on a program that they just launched. That's through their IDA. And that's a loan program, and they have traditionally only loaned funds to high-tech and manufacturing. That's their area of focus. They have seen the need for the smaller businesses, especially retail, so this program is designed for that. And they're working through Canandaigua National right now to implement that, and those loans are a maximum amount of $20,000. So we do go through, we have some grants that are active right now. The New York Main Street grant, the village was awarded $335,000. That's for building improvements and some streetscape. I worked with that team on the application, and I'm working to help implement. We have 2 people from Labella that are on contract through the village, and I help with some of if they can't get through to somebody, one of the building owners, or if they're struggling to get some information, I'm helping with that. I even was able to recruit Wilma Townsend upstairs because there was some discrepancy about, from the State Historic Preservation Office about one of the buildings, and Wilma was able to help us with that, to get to the bottom of it. So bridge loans, I went to the county IDA and requested additional funding to support the New York Main Street Grant Program. The reason is many of the applicants that come to us can't afford the costs that they incur while they're waiting for the reimbursement. So they've put out, $50,000, and they don't apply for the program because they don't have those funds to wait 6 or 8 weeks until the state sends the reimbursement. The bridge loans, that was approved by Ontario County Economic Development Corporation. We have the funds. We have 2 property owners right now that are interested in taking the funding, and others are reviewing it. New York Forward, I put up there, we're still waiting. I worked with the village to apply for $6 million in funding through the New York Forward program. The team was invited back, or invited to present and answer questions. That was in November. We should hear any day now. I keep checking, and we're waiting for some good news on that. So this slide, a lot of action going on there. I wanted to jump into our events and promotions and talk a little bit about, why people ask why economic development is involved in events, right? I hear that all the time. Yes, it is time consuming, but I will tell you that the businesses need it, the community wants it, and the feedback we get when we do these events, that from the businesses especially, as far as drawing some foot traffic and awareness to those businesses, is certainly evident that we need to continue. So I wanted to, when we're talking about events, I wanted to talk about the sponsorship program. I left all of you that packet. So the town contracts with Barn Door Events to run the sponsorship program. We've definitely made progress. As far as income, there's a snapshot there from when Barn Door Events started with us in 2022. We ended in 2024 with $35,200 being raised. The packet that you have outlines what they put together as far as each event and the different levels of sponsorship that are available. And we have already put this out there and are already getting responses. So that program continues to grow, and I'm excited about that. So next up is a video that we did to promote Victor, promote economic development, talk about Victor's assets, and it was geared towards not only new businesses coming in, but visitors, and actually residents, because there's many people that live here that still, we don't know all that's going on, right? So Elevate Videography did this video, and I'm assuming it's going to play when I hit this next. And I just want you to watch it in case you haven't seen it.
Welcome to Victor, a thriving community nestled in upstate New York. Victor offers vibrant local shops, cozy cafes, and delicious restaurants. Businesses thrive in Victor's dynamic commercial spaces, where innovation meets opportunity. Home to Eastview Mall and a variety of thriving shopping plazas, Victor is a commercial hotspot. From lively festivals to concerts and more, Victor brings the community together for unforgettable events. Experience the extraordinary. Discover Victor.
So that was 30 seconds, right? And there's a longer version of that. We've been putting that out on social media. It's been very well received through those channels, and you'll see some more of that as well. At this point, I'm going to turn the podium over to Gina Solomon, who's going to take you through some of the social media and promotional projects.
Hi. So the objectives of Marketing Victor is to increase the growth within our community and local businesses, as well as create awareness for these local businesses and increase more foot traffic for them. We also market to businesses who are looking to relocate here. So by Marketing Victor, we're utilizing the power of social media. We partnered with iHeartMedia, Elevate Videography, to help promote Victor in a visually pleasing way. Discover Victor NY was launched in 2023 on Facebook and Instagram, but we increased our efforts in the beginning of 2024. We collaborated with iHeartMedia and Elevate Videography to create this video to bring people to our page. Our page, Discover Victor NY, is a one-stop shop to find information on Victor businesses and local events that support those businesses. The sole purpose is to bring awareness to these small businesses. I share their posts and updates on our page and stories, as well as create my own designs, such as for their ribbon cuttings and events. I came up with this business spotlight idea for a social media campaign, not only to promote the businesses, but also a way for the community to get to know who they are as a person and as the business owner, but also to see what they provide for services and products. The business video program with Elevate Videography is to showcase their space and services or products in a fun way. Because of our collaboration with iHeartMedia and Elevate Videography and my own post designs, we increased our followers by almost 4 times, from 300 followers to almost over 1,100 followers on Facebook. We pushed out the economic development video, Jingle Mingle promotions, and the Discover Victor NY promo video with iHeartMedia. And the total people who viewed these posts were 764,053 people combined. And then we also had 13,169 clicks for people who want to know more about Victor. In the last 28 days for our Discover Victor NY Facebook page, the total views we had were 155,191 people. We also gained 78 new followers within the last 28 days. The demographic of our followers are 75% women and 25% men, primarily in the 35 to 45 age group. But our followers also range from 24-year-olds to all the way to 65 plus. The locations for these followers range from Victor and Farmington and all the way to Fairport, Pittsford, Canandaigua, and a bunch more. Our page and efforts for these businesses are growing every day. And then I will give it back to Kathy to discuss our next phase.
Thank you. I just got to catch up. All right. So, Facebook, Instagram, Discover Victor NY. What comes next, right? Everyone kept saying we need a place after they're at, see something on Facebook or they see something on Instagram. Where do they go for more information? DiscoverVictorNY.com was born and launched in towards the end of October. And this is where, so as I just said, you see something about, fire on Main, and you can go to the website now, click on Fire on Main's link and find out more information. And it's all about branding, right? Before I started with the town, I was in marketing and advertising, and I left the bags for you guys up there, the Discover Victor. It's all about driving home that brand of Discover Victor NY. So there's always challenges, right? And so without, being negative, it's some obvious things, okay? So for me and Gina, it's been communication. And when I say that, it's really communicating to the business owners and also the residents. We're making some headway with Discover Victor, but we all get, gee, I didn't know that was there. I didn't know you guys were doing that event. When we've been spending months, promoting it, planning it, whatever. So communication will continue to be, an issue, but we're trying to get ahead of it. The other thing that that I've discovered, we have a email marketing contract with Constant Contact, okay? Thought that was going to be great, which it makes things a lot easier, but what I'm finding out is there's a lot of what I'd say false positives with the opens. When it says 50 people opened your email, it's not always the case, because I'm finding out that some of those 50, a good portion, weren't even getting the email, or it was being blocked by their server. So we're looking at other options for that. The other huge challenge, and I know everybody deals with this, is public perception versus facts, right? And, that has kind of blown up with social media. I sit and scroll some of the same pages that everybody else does as far as Victor Farmington neighbors, whatever. And it's hard sometimes to read things that aren't correct, but you have to find that balance, as I refer to know when is it appropriate to put a message out to clarify things. Sometimes it just makes more sense to just let it go, and then people will figure it out. But there are times that you really have to, zero in and put the right information out there. So new initiatives for 2025. As far as events, there's a newly organized events committee that seems to be, I'm on it, obviously Gina is, and the people on it are engaged and willing to help, and we've done some surveys as far as community, as far as the residents. There's people in the community that want to help with some of the events, so we're going to be looking at that a little closer. I left you all a copy of the Winter Wellness Challenge flyer. That is something that came out of the events committee, and this is, town and village fitness-related health and wellness businesses. So kind of started with, we have a lot of gyms here, and then it morphed into, well, what about all the other health and wellness businesses we have? So we came up with a promotion. I think we have 10 or 12 businesses that have signed up. Basically, they sign up, it's a 3-month program. They have raffle tickets that each one of their customers fills out if they participate in the program, and then there's a drawing at the end. It's gaining some momentum on social media as well. We're collaborating with the Ontario County Chamber. On March 17th, we're having a Grow Your Business workshop here. So Gina and I are working with the Chamber team. Basically, we're going to have a roundtable type of discussion with representatives from economic development, the county economic development, SBDC, SBA, a couple banks are coming, and each one kind of gives their elevator speech as what they provide to, or are able to provide to businesses as far as support. And then there will be a breakout time where people who attend, business owners, can meet, set up times to meet with those individuals. And that invitation, Gina and I are working on the mailing list for that right now. Ribbon cuttings, as I said, they're doing those. We have one coming up this week. Thursday, that Drew's going to help us with. And let's see, so marketing, as far as new initiatives, I'm working on the welcome folder reprint. I don't know if you've all seen that. It's been around for a while, but the inserts to that are outdated. The parks information has to be updated, school information. And one note about those welcome folders, not only the clerk's office uses them for residents that come in, I use them as, to talk to a new business, but LSI is using them for their new employees. So we've got an area in our office where we stuff them with stuff about Parks and Rec and our hiking trails and things like that for the new employees. Let's see, what did I miss? So business retention, it's, you can't beat face-to-face meetings, right? Email's one thing and phone calls, but getting out there and, people really open up about things when you're in front of them face-to-face. That's what I'm talking about, increasing the business visits and check-ins. And the business improvement strategies at the end is another group that just met for the first time today, and it is business owners and building owners talking about what we can do to better support the businesses, better incentivize new businesses to come in. So we just started that discussion today, and we're going to continue with the video program as well. Now it's your turn. If you have questions, we appreciate your time. And if you have any questions, we're here.
Gina, how do you identify new followers, or I forgot what the term you had up there?
So to identify new followers, I just go on our Facebook page Insight overview, and it shows me, I can just choose like the last 28 days or up to a year, and it shows me how many followers we gained within that time frame. It also shows me how many people viewed our page in general. For example, that's how I got the total amount. It was 155,191 people within the 28 days. So it just shows me on the page overview on Facebook, on our profile.
Thank you. Any other questions for Gina or Kathy?
Last year, Spooktacular was canceled, and I saw it back on the list this year. Is there a change in how we're going about doing it, just to hopefully keep it this year, or?
We're keeping
Not
it.
sure. Okay.
And I can shed some light on that. That was Kathy who pulled the plug on that, because we were getting closer and closer to the deadline, and my internal deadline, let's say, for having the wineries and breweries lined up, and there was not good response. So I was struggling with that. And there also was not a huge response or outpouring of love from the businesses at that time that they wanted to do it. The minute that it was canceled, that's when I heard how much they loved the event and please bring it back. So that it's back. It's back. Yeah, that was, Gina was surprised too. I came in and I said, I can't do this. We can't pull it off.
Yeah. Which I remember that. It made sense to cancel the time. So then when you said, people were like, well, where is it? I'm like,
Everybody
of
said,
course.
and also, we had a lot of people calling not only residents, but people who had attended it in the past, and they
Yep.
were disappointed. So it's like, okay, we'll give it another shot.
And then for the ribbon cuttings, are we still doing certificates from the town?
It's sporadic,
Okay.
and that's only because, just trying to manage that, but not that it's a big deal. And we should get back onto a regular schedule with that, as far as have them ready to go, I think Susie has a template that I can just drop in the name of the business and that type of thing.
Perfect. Yeah, because I've seen, like I've done them before. I've seen them at a lot of businesses, and it's nice to see when you see,
Yes.
wherever, for us, Town of Victor, and then it has a little certificate from us, which I thought was nice.
Ribbon cuttings, I feel a little bad because sometimes the attendance is low, and people get really excited, the business owner, and then, 2 people come. So I'm trying to, with the chamber, just trying to do something, just to get a little bit more foot traffic for the ribbon cutting
Okay.
itself.
Yeah. I don't have any other questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. In your packet as well was the finance report, highway report, selling a lot of permits these days. Town historian, IT, and planning and building. Clearly, Keith, the ice storm or ice damage had a significant impact on the number of permits issued. Any question on any of these reports?
Yeah, Keith, I had a question about the Aladdin's Natural Eatery.
Yep.
And I know it's going up at the plaza where the cannabis shop is.
Yep, Flower City.
How has that been kind of, I guess, progressing or?
So they have their building permit and site plan approval. So now they've been working on the interior space.
Okay. And they're fully aware of the cannabis shop being there? 'Cause
Yes.
my understanding that we were getting some complaints from, was it like the dentist office or residents or?
Not that I have been aware of.
Okay,
But no, yeah, they're well aware.
okay, all right, perfect. And then, Brian, I just had a couple questions on your report. On the Little Dog Treat Library, how is that getting stocked?
Jerry Verone stocked it, and
Okay.
then she was the community member that hired the contractor to build the Dog Treat Library, historical participant, her kid's in our program, she reached out to me, and then the individual dog pass holders stock it.
Okay, and it's been going well? They've been
Yeah,
stocking it
it's been great. It's enabled us to, due to the love of the new park, if you will, a lot of folks will bring treats, they'll have balls, they'll have the chuckets, which are the things that hold a little tennis ball and you throw it across the lawn, and then they just leave them there so they can retrieve them the next day. So they end up in the fence, and you see 5 chuckets in the chain link fence, and the balls, and the mowers are hitting the balls, and some are lacrosse balls, some are tennis balls. So part of it, of my mindset, not only for her to honor her dog with, the Dog Treat Library, was also an opportunity to gather up some of the dog play items that are around there and give them a home. And so it was only installed a couple weeks ago, but it's going very, very nicely.
Nice.
It's a nice community
And
opportunity.
then, the other one was, oh, if I could find it. We were doing an installation on, some of the flashing signs. Are there any, residents that are gonna be affected by, like, the light flashing near their homes or properties? I didn't think so from the description.
These are high-traffic intersections
Yeah.
of the Auburn Trail. One is proposed for Rawson Road. So they're really in the trail corridor.
Okay.
They're, East Victor would be in the Auburn Trail, the nearest home from the one at East Victor Road and the Auburn Trail is going to be several thousands of feet away.
Okay.
The third one is proposed at Phillips Road. The closest property would be Pooler Development 2,
Okay.
which is going to be significantly uphill from the trail crossing. The trail crossings are, no, it wouldn't have a residential. It's
Okay.
not out in front of somebody's house.
That's, yeah.
Yeah.
When I lived on High Street is when the village put that nice flasher there, and that is when I needed to get blackout curtains, so I just
Yeah,
asked.
no,
when-
these aren't, these are within the rail trail
That's what I
corridor.
figured. Okay, perfect, thank you.
You got it.
I find it interesting, Brian, that folks know the dogs' names up there, but they don't know the owners. They know
Yeah.
the dogs' names that are in the park, you know.
It's become quite a little community up
Oh,
there.
yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, I have a few items here based on the little additional traffic on Black Friday. We have organized the Issue Mall Holiday Pre-Holiday Planning Meeting for 2025. It's usually something that's held in September. It'll be June 10th this year at the Sheriff's Department. The New York State DOT has been invited, and they have responded they will attend. Remember that there was issues along with the adaptive signal lights along that way, where Turk Hill was only allowing 13 seconds between intervals for people to leave the Issue Mall proper. So I know Fishers Fire District will be present, as well as ambulance and other agencies. We did receive a thank you letter from the Humane Society of Ontario County for the employee donations for money raised for Friday Jeans Days, and in your mailboxes, everyone should have had the 2024 Victor Hiking Trails Annual Report and a copy of the town insurance renewal notes related to the 7% increase for 2025. So that's all I have. Town board members, do you have any committee care to report on? I take silence as a no.
Yep.
Moving to the business section, we're starting with the finance department. There's a number of resolutions there. The first is the after public hearing on the local ride to override the tax cap.
Moved.
Second.
And this is a roll call vote. Well, Ms. Kim, it's your call.
Okay, Supervisor Marin,
Yes.
Councilmember Condon,
Yes.
Councilmember Guinan,
Yes.
Councilmember Cusimano,
Yes.
Councilmember Ogra.
Yes.
Thank you.
Number 2, authorization for the town to fund the town share of the 2025 Boughton Park.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Number 3, these are budget transfers for the operating funds.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Number 4, extend the existing professional agreement with the Bernie Donegan Municipal Advisor Group.
Moved.
I just got a question on this one. I think this one's for Rich, because it mentions bond counsel. Can you just remind me, who is our bond counsel?
Depends.
Oh, apologies.
It's typically Tim McGill, right?
Are they with a firm, or is it
Tim's solo.
Okay.
Bond counsel's his specialty.
special? Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Moving to highway. Number 5, purchase of a 2025 Freightliner.
So moved.
Second, and very excited to second and see these two back on the agenda with no changes.
We had a first, did we have a second?
Me.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, number 5. Number 6, purchase of a 2025 Freightliner single axle.
Moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Supervisor Marin, I gonna make a proposal that we bundle resolutions 7 to 14, since they're all agreements for employment for our Parks and Rec program.
I'll second that.
Any objection to
No objection.
blocking? Okay.
I have an objection to blocking, but I'll just vote no on just the blocking. It, quite frankly, to me, to block them all seems a little bit lazy than just to roll through them.
We had a first, we had a second.
Yep.
To your point, Councilman Conan, those are all these agreements with the Recreation Department. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
Oh,
Number 15.
I think that was just the motion to block, wasn't it?
No, it's just request, is there any objection? You had one objection? And we continue.
I thought we just do first though, Frank, is it?
No.
All right.
Number 15, request for certificate of liability for the insurance waivers.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Number 16 is a letter of credit for the Willis Hill Phase 2.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? And please see Kim after the meeting for a signature, correct, Kim?
Oh, yes.
Yep, you need to, each and every member sign that. Number 17 is a resolution adopting the negative declaration regarding the Environmental Quality Review Act for the proposed solar law. Are there-
So moved.
Okay, we have a first, do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Number 18, secret resolution for the proposed Lehigh Place Plan Development District.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
No. I know Supervisor, you like me to explain why I vote no, but I think it's pretty obvious that I've explained it a few times here. I think it's a bit of a raw deal that we're getting, so that's why I'm no.
Thank you. Number 19 is setting a public hearing for the Stonebrook subdivision for inclusion into the drainage improvement area.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, and the public hearing will be on the 10th of February at 7 o'clock, excuse me. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Public comment. Again, an opportunity for members of the public to address the town board. Susie? Comments? Board members, I am going to request an executive session under rule number 3, which I don't have the language in front of me, but it has to do with purchase, potentially lease, a property where public meeting might impact the price. So that's my,
So moved.
Second.
okay.
Do we have who you wanted us
Just
to
the town
list?
board members. Oh, good. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.